Hello everyone, all are back. Hello guys, if you are back, please respond.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, we are back.
Okay. Okay, so I think Shubha shared the uh, course achievement badge link in the chat, so you can use that link to redeem the course achievement badge. Okay, so let's continue the session. So we have discussed some aspects of Gen AI. And as I said, it's a module that we have to cover the whole day. But since this is just an 1 day session, we are not going into all aspects of the Gen AI. And now we are moving to the next module, which is computer vision. Because from the Gen AI point of view, we have covered one module. We have discussed what is Gen AI, how to deploy models, how to test using the chat playgrounds, and how to customize the model's responses using the RAG implementation. So now we will see one analysis model, a deep learning model for analyzing the images. So in this module, we will see the computer vision solutions or simply the vision solutions on Azure AI services. As we have discussed, we have different AI services, but in this, we will focus on the vision service. So is vision service is available as a pre-created or pre-trained AI service in the Azure. What you can do is create a new instance of the vision service and start consuming this service. Means you can easily integrate this service into your applications, because these models are pre-trained with the millions and millions of images, and they can use this models to analyze the images and extract informations from those images. So what are the different informations we can extract, we'll discuss. But yes, to use a vision service, you can go to the Azure portal and create a new instance of the vision service. And using the SDK or using the REST APIs, you can start consuming those models, or you can integrate these models inside your application. So these pre-trained models you can use to generate the caption of images, suggest appropriate tags from the image, identify the objects inside the image, detect and locate the people's faces from the image. So more things we can do, but these are the primary and most commonly used features using the image analysis. Simply, we can generate a caption. Suppose if we are providing the image, it can generate a caption for that particular image. So what is the image content? Based on that, it creates a caption. It can also provide a list of tags. Suppose what are the different informations it can extract from the image. Based on that, it is going to provide you different tags. As a collection of tags will be written. Object detection is also a feature. So it returns the objects and their positions, the coordinates. So as you see in this picture here, if you are providing a picture like this, it can identify different objects in this picture, like a car, there is a person running or playing, and there is a ball, a dog, and a person standing. So it can identify different objects, and also it returns the coordinates, the positions of that particular uh, objects. Locate people's faces. Suppose if there are human faces detected, it can identify the human faces from an image. Okay, suppose how many people found inside the image, it will be able to detect that. To use this vision services, you can deploy uh, an AI service. It can be a computer vision service, which is only used for vision capabilities, or you can use a multi-service account, which is a multi-service account means uh, same API or same endpoint can be used for consuming multiple AI services. For example, for language service, text analytics service, speech service, you will be using the same API key and endpoint. So such models are called a multi-service accounts. But if you want to deploy only the computer vision service, you can deploy as a standalone service. It's a computer vision standalone service. So whether you are deploying a multi-service account or a computer vision standalone service, you will always get one endpoint and an authentication key. So you can now authenticate with the authentication key or the Microsoft Entra ID. That is the what to say, Active Directory authentication, you can say. So Entra ID authentication is supported, and also key-based authentication also supported. If you use a multi-service account, what is the benefit is you don't need to use different endpoints for different services. For example, if I'm creating a AI-based application where I need to use speech service, language service, and a vision service. So all the three capabilities I want to use. And if you use standalone services, you have to deploy three different resources. A language service you have to deploy. It will give its own API key and endpoint. Then speech service will create its own API key and endpoint. And the vision service is going to provide a different key and endpoint. Means inside the same application, you need to maintain multiple keys and endpoint. But if you use a multi-service account or multi-service resource, you have to deploy a single resource which provides the language, speech, vision, and others AI capabilities. And the billing will be a consolidated billing. Means whenever you consume the vision capabilities, sorry, whenever you use the vision capabilities or speech or language services, bill will be a single bill. Means billing will comes under the multi-service account. There is no separate bill for vision, separate bill for speech is not available. It's a consolidated billing. But in some organization, if you want to track what is the usage of vision services, what is the usage of speech services separately, and you want to calculate the cost independently for each service, then you have to go for the standalone service. Okay. So, but for consuming multiple services using a single endpoint, better to use the multi-service resource. But billing will be a consolidated billing. So you cannot get individual resource-wise billing in multi-service option. So if you need a individual billing for each and every AI service, then use a standalone deployment. So for that, you can go to the Azure portal. Inside this portal, you can directly create the AI service. Or so here you can see this is Azure AI Services is a product bundle that enables customers to access multiple services using a single API key. Okay. But if you want to use only the vision service, then you can search for computer vision. And you will be able to see computer vision service. Okay. So I think I already have created these services. Let me check. Yeah, so I have this vision service and also I have a multi-service account. If you see, there is Azure AI services, multi-service account, and also I have a computer vision service, which is a standalone service. So whether you go with the standalone service, you will be getting a key and endpoint. As you can see here, there is a key and endpoint available. Similarly, if you go with the multi-service account, here also you will be able to see a key and an endpoint. There's a key and there's an endpoint. And in multi-service account, you will be able to use this language, speech, vision, document intelligence, metrics advisor. There are many things you can use with the same multi-service account. To use the vision service, I have already said every AI service is accessible using REST API or SDK. So if you are a developer, you have two options to consume this AI services. Either you can make a REST API request, or you can create the image analysis client class object from the SDK. SDK means a project library available. If it can be a .NET library or Java library or Python library. So you can use those class libraries also. But behind the scene, everything is executed as a REST API. So you will be making a request to the backend API, and it returns the response in a JSON format. So that JSON data will contains the analysis result. So what are the different informations you want to extract? That informations will be included in the JSON response. As you see here, suppose if you are asking the model to get the tags, then you will get a tags result. If you are asking the model to return the objects positions, then it returns the object results. If you are asking the model to return the peoples, identify the peoples from the image, then it returns a list of people result. So what are the features you want to include in while making a request? Accordingly, the response structure will change. But ultimately, the response is coming in JSON format. But if you are using the SDK, that JSON data is converted into a class object. So we will see how we can use this analyze image option. So there is a lab or exercise available. So this is the exercise for the computer vision. I'm not following this instruction, but I can simply show you this is containing some coding also, but I'm not going with that. I'll share this link with you. But I can show you how we can use the image analysis feature for that. I can go to Azure AI Foundry and then Azure AI Services. I think this is again is all open AI service. Okay. What's the service we have used? Okay, so let me go to Vision Studio. That's better. So the Azure Vision Studio we can use to test the features of Azure AI service or Vision service. So you can we can see inside this Vision Studio, we can see different options. So we can try out these features using a Vision service. So for that, first we have to configure the Vision service here. As you see here, I have already deployed a Vision service here. So I have selected this Vision service as my current resource, and I can try out some of the features. For example, if I have to create a caption for images, I can try out this feature. So here, this resource is not connected. So now if I have to create a caption, there are some sample images provided. Suppose if I have to create a caption for this image, I can select this and you can see this is the image and it's going to create a caption. Can you see a group of cows grazing in the fields? But actual JSON result is this one. So this is the JSON response. As you can see, this is the caption result and this is the confidence value. So confidence value is indicating that how confident the model is about the result. Suppose I can say this is 86%. So this is a value between 0 and 1, but we can convert that into a percentage value. So it means 86% confident that this is the correct one. Okay. But if you see this one, we can see what is the caption result. A man holding a surfboard on a rock. 85% confident. That is 0.85. So look at this one. There is a statue. A statue of a woman holding a scale on top of the building. So this is 70% confidence. That is 0.70 is the value which is coming. Suppose if you want to try with your own custom images, suppose you can go and download some images from internet and then you can try. Maybe images of kids. Okay, let me try with this image. So I'm going to upload this image and then asking the model to generate a caption. A group of kids playing football. And you can see it is 0.88, which means 88% confident, right? So means this API's caption generation feature is able to generate the caption from the given image. So they have given some sample images, or you can upload your own image. Now, if I have to uh, use the object detection feature. So here is the object detection. If I want to try out this feature, okay, whether this is working correctly or not. So if I want to try out, I can go inside this. Here, I can select any one of this picture, which these are the created images or built-in images in this portal where you can try out something. You can see. So it is detecting the objects. So this is a person, 64% confident. This is another person, 77% confidence. And this is a subway train. Okay, this is a see from this blur image also it is able to detect this is a subway train, right? And the JSON response which is coming is this one. So it is identifying the first object in this XY coordinate position, and this is a person with a 0.77. That is this object, right? This is the second object position. This is in X, Y position. You can see from here, width and height is mentioned. So there's a second person, 64% confidence. And there's a third one, which is a subgrade frame. Now, if you look at with this, there are more objects you can identify. If you see, there is a footwear, person, laptop, seating, person. So there are three person, right? Then seating and table. This is footwear, right? And this is the JSON data. Now, if you want, you can try with your own picture also and upload your sample picture. You can see one, two, three, and four. So four person identified. And there is a ball, right? Soccer ball. So you can see here the image analysis model is able to detect the objects also and extracting the common tags. Suppose if you want to try the common tags, so you can select maybe this picture itself. And these are the different tags generated. Person, clothing, furniture, indoor, table, coffee table, human face, sitting, couch, laptop, computer, so and so, right? So you can see it's generating different tags. From my own image, if I have to get the tags, you can see tree, outdoor, it's an outdoor picture, person, football, grass. Yes, grass is found. Footwear, soccer ball, playing, playground, sports equipment, plant, play, clothing. So you can see there are a lot of tags generated from this given image. So another one is creating a smart crop image. Means if we have to give focus to particular object and create a smart cropped image. Suppose here in this picture itself, if you look at this, instead of uh, taking the complete picture, you can see the focus should be on this area. The people were sitting. So giving focus to that, it is created a new image. So the aspect ratio you can adjust here. Let let us upload our picture. You can see here some area is removed. So you can see left and right side a lot of things. This is the focused area. So this area is focused and is creating a smart cropped image. Then detect faces. Face detection. Face detection, it will need a separate service. Face API is required. So we can create a face API from here itself because face detection is it requires a separate service because detecting the face and recognizing the face is actually restricted based on the responsible AI principles because uh, it's a identity of a human, or right. So using the face features or using the face images directly inside our AI is restricted. So to use the face related services like a face API, you need to have the permission to create and use that services. But you can see the other features are working in the Vision Studio. So in the computer vision, we have discussed a couple of features. So all these features are working. Even uh, extracting the text using the OCR also will work. For example, from this picture, if we have to extract the text, as you see here, it is able to extract social security in this number, and there is some text, right? So you can see it is extracting the text. So even it is a handwritten text, still it is able to read. You can see you must be the change you wish to see in the world. So that is the text. So it is able to extract the text from the image also. As you can see, this is the right. So what I'm trying to say here is the image analysis feature of the vision model or vision service is capable to detect the objects, creating the tags and captions, and creating smart cropped images, right? But some features obviously it is restricted. For that, we need to create or we need to make a request to Microsoft to create a Face API resource. Reading text in images. This is just now I have showed you. We can use the OCR feature or optical character recognition feature to extract the information from the documents. So extract contact information from a scanned business card or conference badges. Capture information from the ID to complete the electronic forms. Scan and store recipes or other text. Photograph a sign or storefront so you can submit it to the translation service. Digitize the handwritten notes. So these all examples I have showed you in the portal, right? So here, so we can use the card or handwritten text, the recipe, and all these we can read using the vision service. So Azure AI options for reading the text. So for reading the text from the documents, Azure is offering multiple services. Okay. So one service is the vision service. So inside the Azure AI vision, image analysis provides the text reading. Means you can read the printed or handwritten text using the vision service. Second option is create a different service called a document intelligence. So document intelligence is a separate service which is dedicatedly used for reading the text from the scanned documents. Third one is Azure AI content understanding, which is also a multimodal content extraction service. Okay. So what is the difference is in AI vision, we identify the text and its location in the scanned document. So this is the simplest API that uses the OCR feature to read the text. Means not very complicated structured documents. It's just to read the text, not in a structured manner. Find and read the text in photographs. So if you have the ID cards photo or visiting cards photo or some recipes, so you can take the photo and from the photo you can read the text. Combined with other image analysis features to implement a digital asset management solution. So if I have to read the text and also I have to analyze the image and get some other insights about that image, then we can use a vision services image analysis and OCR. Because if I have to do object detection or if I have to generate a caption, plus I have to store the text information also. So I don't need two different services because vision service is capable to generate a caption. Also, it is capable to extract the text data from the image. So using a single service, you are able to do image analysis as well as the OCR. But document intelligence, which is a separate service altogether for extracting the text from the documents. Suppose there is in this course itself in AI 102, there is a module which is covering this text extraction using the document intelligence. Okay. So, but just now I'm just giving a brief idea about the document intelligence. It is providing a set of predefined models for extracting the text. It is capable to read the text from very lengthy texted documents or scanned documents, as well as it is capable to read the structured data. For example, if there is an application form, uh, if I have to say an example, suppose 25 years back, all the hospitals are collecting the patient's information using the application form. So you have to go to the reception and enter the patient's information in a form. So they will give you a printed document. So you have to fill the documents, fill the data inside the documents. And that is a paper document they usually maintain. But now, instead of paper documents, it is now computerized. What you can do, you can directly store the data inside the database using the computerized forms. But the question is, what about the old patient's data that is still inside the paper? How we can digitize and store inside a database? For that, we can use a document intelligence service. So using the document intelligence service, we can extract the informations from the documents and send it to an application so that the application can store that data in a database. So nowadays, for document translations, we use this service because scanned documents, like uh, if you see the in police stations also, previously we used to store the crime informations, the FIR and the criminals informations in a paper document. But now everything is computerized. How they convert the old criminals and FIR documents into a digital format. So for that, they use the document intelligence service, which can read the data from the scanned images and then use an API to store the data in a database. It provides built-in models for specific document types, but also you can create your own custom models also. The Azure AI content understanding is a user multi-model content extraction capability to analyze the documents forms, audio, video, and images. It creates custom analyzers to extract specific content or fields tailored to business needs. So this is an advanced form of multi-modal content extraction, which means not only from the scanned document, but also from other media also it is able to extract the contents. Okay. So Vision Service OCR is a uh, text extraction capability, but at a lower level, means very limited amount of data with the unstructured format. Document intelligence is a dedicated service for text extraction from the scanned documents, but it can do structured as well as unstructured. But AI content understanding service is capable to extract the text or the data from various models or various type of data. Reading text with the vision image analysis. For that, we have to use the REST API or we have to use the SDK. So there is a image analysis client class we have to create, but we need to specify the read option because we have to actually read the text from the documents. So in that cases, visual feature you have to specify as read. That means whenever you make a request, you have to explicitly specify inside the request which feature you have to include. There are different features like a caption generation, cropping image, or tag generation, but you have to explicitly specify read as a visual feature. Then only it reads the text from the image. And data is returned in a JSON format, which contains the blocks, lines, and words. Means block means it is a like a paragraph or something like that. And inside the paragraph, multiple lines will be there. And inside each line, multiple words will be there. So here you can see blocks and how many blocks are there. The block informations will be there. And then inside the block, each line, so line is again coming as an array and the position of that particular line. Then inside the line, each word it displays. There is one document or one lab document available for that as well. So for reading the text in images, I'll be sharing the link for that. I'll execute one lab from this so that you will come to know how to do this lab. Suppose, okay, let me finish this module, then I'll show you that lab, how to do this lab. As part of the vision, the next feature or next service we have is the face detection and a face analysis. So we can detect, analyze, and recognize the faces. So I have already said face detection and face recognition is restricted by responsible AI principles because this is something related to the privacy. So previously, when I started using the AI services, this face API was completely free. So everyone could use this one. But now, because of the AI services uh, boom and because of the data privacy concerns, this face API is now available only to selected users with a special request. Suppose if I have to use Face API, first I need to write or submit a request form to Microsoft saying that, okay, I want to use Face API for this project, and this is the purpose, and this is what I want to implement. So if they feel that this is okay and they will approve, then only you will be able to create the Face API service. But I can tell you what are the different features the Face API or Face service is offering. We can detect and locate the faces in image. Okay. So inside the image, if we have the face, we can detect the face in an image, in what is the position of that face. So previously in computer vision, we could directly use that face detection, but only recognition requires special approval. Let's try once again. Detect face. So that needs a resource. Let's try creating a new resource. The free trial is succeeded. The same features are now available in the AI Foundry also. For that, we have to create project. See the same features. In the AI Foundry also, now we are able to do this. Hmm. You can see here, this is the image analysis face detection. So this is only face detection. So the vision service providing a face detection, but this is only detecting the face. As you can see, the face positions are detected, and it is capable to detect whether you are wearing a mask or not. Can you see? It is mask covering the nose and mouth. Yes, but here also, this picture also contains a mask, but because it is not inside the face, it is saying there is no face mask. There is a mask, but this is not in the face. Okay. And even multiple faces also it is able to detect. Phase 1 and phase 2. So the same you can do using the Vision Studio also. So whatever you do in the Vision Studio, you are able to do in AI Foundry also. Okay. Anyway. So this is the face detection feature of vision service, but face API is a separate service. Okay, so face API is a separate service. It's a face service is a separate service, not the computer vision. So if you look into this, I have already created a computer vision service. It's a computer vision service. This computer vision service can provide the face detection. Okay, but there is a separate service called a face API or face service. This is a face API or face service. So this also you can use, but the problem is to use this, you have to uh, have the approval from Microsoft because some of the features of face API is restricted. As you can see, limited access to the face API. So why it is? Because some of the features of face API can be used for illegal activities because face recognition feature. So if you want to create a face recognition feature, you will identify the human face parameters, and based on that, you can create a authentication system. For example, biometrics authentication. Biometrics means face detection based authentication system you can create. For that, you will be storing the face informations somewhere. That's the reason whenever you come in front of the camera, it automatically identify, okay, this is Mr. Sonu, so let him go inside. So that API is using the human face capabilities to store that human capabilities and also analyze. That's why some of these face API features. So detection is not a problem. So detecting the face position is not a problem. So detecting face means just detecting the position of the face. But face recognition means identifying the face. Who is it? Okay. So that is primarily used in the biometrics. Okay. So to use that features, you need a special approval. So for that, you have to submit a registration form. So inside that registration form, you need to clearly specify what is the purpose. Okay. So this is what you are supposed to do. Company, organization, or organization website, company type, and so on and so. Okay. So if Microsoft feels that, okay, this is valid, and then they can approve so that you can use the restricted features. So face detecting or face detection is not a big task because that can be done using the vision service also. You can also do it using the face service. It's a common feature. In computer vision also, we have a face detection. And in face API also, we have a vision service available. But analyzing the facial features and implementing the facial recognition, you need a additional approval. So analyzing the facial features means whether you are angry or happy. Then what are the other face parameters like your nose position, eyes position, eyebrow position, lips. All these informations you can extract using the facial features and also facial recognition. So for these features, you need a special approval. So because these are restricted or limited access features. Okay. But detecting the face or identifying the position of the face is not a problem. Plan face detection, analysis, and recognition solution. Choose the face operations you need. So face detection means just locate the face in an image. Suppose from a picture, if I have to identify the position of the face, then you can use a face detection. Face attribute analysis, that is, analyze the features of the faces, like a head position, occlusion, accessories, whether you are wearing a glass, okay, or hat, or these informations we can identify using face attribute analysis. Facial landmark locations, like some spatial points from the facial features, like the eye corners, pupils, tip of the nose, etc. Face comparison. For that, we are comparing two pictures and identifying whether both the images or both the people are same or not. So this is primarily used in detecting the criminals. Suppose whenever a criminal or whenever a person enter the suppose he is entering a mall. So inside the mall there is a camera which is capturing the face of a person who is entering, and it can compare with the pictures which is already there in the criminal database. So if it is a criminal or a terrorist, and if there is a face similarity, the alert can immediately go to the police and they can arrest him or they can take him for the questioning. So that means face comparison means comparing two faces, and it can tell you whether they are similar face or not. Okay, so I'm telling the use case or application of that face comparison, like for uh, comparing the face with a criminal's face, criminal's photo database. Then we can use the face comparison feature. Facial recognition means identify the people whenever they comes in front of the camera. From the stored images, it will recognize. It is typically used for the attendance marking. Like whenever you go inside the office, it will automatically capture your face and mark your attendance. Okay, Mr. Sonu has entered. So he is in. Whenever you go out, it will automatically mark your attendance. So that is facial recognition. So don't confuse with the comparison and recognition. Comparison means it capture the photo and compare with another picture. That is comparison. Recognition means identify who is it. So every face which is stored inside the database will have a unique identity. Like suppose whenever I join the company, the HR team will tell you, okay, you have to stand in front of the camera and take 5 photos because they want to store your picture inside a database. So once your information is stored in the database, they will give a name for that records. It's maybe it says okay, Sonu's photos. And whenever I come in front of the camera next time, it will automatically make a search inside the database and identify who is it. So suppose if I come in front of the camera, it will immediately identify, okay, Mr. Sonu has come. It's not just a comparison, it is a recognition. Face liveness is to determine if the face is a real person or not. Okay, it's a photo or it's a real face. You can determine using the face liveness. There is one lab available for that as well. I'll share the link for that as well. So in vision, we have discussed the image analysis, OCR, that is text extraction, face service, and the next is image classification and object detection. So understand that Consider a scenario that I'm running a pet store or pet clinic. Suppose I have a pet and I want to consult a veterinary doctor to ask, okay, I have this pet, and what are the medicines and food diets I have to follow for my pet. So typically, what we do, we will take this pet and go to the pet clinic and show it to the doctor. So instead of that, now what we can do, give this, give a photo of our pet. We can upload into the website which identifies which category of pet it is. Suppose if it is a cat, which breed it is, or if it is a dog, which breed it is. And then accordingly, it will suggest the medicines and diet for that. Okay. So that means we are classifying the images. Suppose if I am uploading one Pomeranian's picture, it will detect, okay, this is a Pomeranian, and then provide the medicines and diet for that. Suppose if I'm uploading an image of a bulldog, it will understand, okay, this is a bulldog, and this is the diet plan and the medicines for the bulldog. So for doing this, our AI model should have the capability of identifying the type of the object in that picture. Suppose if I'm uploading a picture of a bulldog, it should be able to identify, okay, this is a bulldog picture, or this is a Pomeranian picture, or it's a Dalmatian picture, or it should be some Labrador picture. So to identify which category it is, you need to use image classification feature. So image classification means you will predict which category of that which category that image belongs to. So that may be an image of a dog, image of a fruit, image of a bird, whatever it is. But you can upload this image, and the model will tell you, okay, this is this particular category. So that is what the classification. Okay. So there are two type of classifications we can do. It's a multi-class and a multi-label. Multi-class means the model recognizes multiple classes and each image is tagged using one class label. Suppose if we have multiple categories of dogs. So each dog category we have to train separately. Suppose if I have 20 types of dogs uh, available, so we have to upload multiple pictures of uh, each category dog and train the model. So we have to train the model with all the 20 categories. Then only the model is able to detect which is the dog category. Suppose if I want to bring or if I have to build a similar application where I have 20 categories of dogs, we have to upload 20 categories or we have to create 20 classes or 20 categories. And in each category, we have to upload different pictures of that dogs. So once we created these categories, we will train the model to remember this information. Now, after the training, the model will remember all the 20 categories. And then whenever I upload a new photo and ask the model, can you tell me which dog it is? Then the model is immediately able to tell you which category it is. But a multi-label means each image can be tagged as multiple classes. For example, one picture will come in multiple categories. For example, if I'm uploading tomato, okay. So I have the categories like vegetables, fruits, then nuts, and there are a lot of categories I have. Means food items category. So when I upload the tomato, tomato is belongs to vegetable and also it's a fruit. So tomato can be labeled as a fruit as well as a vegetable. So the same picture is labeled as two categories. That is called a multi-label. Okay. So whenever I search or whenever I upload the image of tomato again and I ask which category it belongs to, then it will tell it, okay, belongs to vegetable and fruit because multiple labels are applied to that particular. So if it is only multiple class, means in each class a single category, like Pomeranian is one class, Bulldog is another class where only Bulldog is there, right? So we upload the Bulldog and it belongs to Pomeranian and the Bulldog. It's not like that. So one picture it belongs to only a single category, then it is multi-class. Okay. Multi-label means one image belongs to multiple classes. Okay. So we have to train the model to use this image classification feature because the built-in vision service, computer vision, do not have this classification capability. So for that, we need to use the custom vision feature. So custom vision models provide image classification as well as object detection. So image classification, I have already explained that we upload the picture of a object and it says, okay, it belongs to this particular category. That is a classification. Okay. But object detection means whenever I upload the image, what are the different objects identified and it will give the position of those images. Okay. Now you will be wondering the same feature is available in computer vision. Previously, we have discussed like it is able to detect the footwear, laptop, person, etc., etc. Okay, but those categories are pre-trained. But suppose in uh, a factory, there are different devices or tools which are custom tools, which may not be uh, uh, pre-created or pre-defined types. So if I have to detect which machinery or which object it is, we have to train that model. So whenever I take a photo, it can tell clearly, okay, this picture contains these objects inside it. Okay. So for that, we need to train the model. So we can customize the vision model for image classification as well as for the object detection. So image classification helps us to identify that image belongs to which category. Object detection helps us to detect the position of different images available in that picture. So don't confuse with the object detection feature of computer vision because computer vision is a pre-trained model which can detect only the pre-trained objects. Suppose if there is a custom object which is used in specific industries, it cannot detect. So we have to train the model with lots of images and label or mark the positions of these objects and train the model and then deploy the model to consume. Custom vision is the service used for that. So the custom vision service is capable to perform the image classification and object detection But for doing that, you have to train the model first. Okay, so that means what type of uh, feature you want, whether you want image classification or you want image or object detection. So if it is image classification, then you have to create multiple categories of multiple categories and upload multiple images in each category and then train the model to learn what category it is. So I can show you an example of that. This lab is actually providing a similar example. So this is the image classification example. Let me show you how this works, because this is one of the confusing point, because the vision model is typically providing a pre-trained model which can automatically detect the objects, which can create the captions and so on. There is no training required. But custom vision requires training. Suppose if I have to classify the images or I have to detect the custom objects, then you have to use a custom vision and we need to train the model with a set of images. So for that, first I'll show you how we can execute this lab. First of all, we have to go and create a custom vision service. For that, go to the Azure portal and create a custom vision service. So go to Azure portal and search for custom vision. When you search for it, here you can see the custom vision. This is not computer vision. Here we want both prediction as well as training endpoints, right? Suppose if I need only the training endpoint, then you can use that. Or if you need only for the prediction of an existing model, you can use the prediction endpoint. But we want to do faster training. So we will do the training using the training models and do the predictions using the prediction endpoint. So we need both. So I'll select both. Then we have to specify all the parameters, like I can say resource group, location, name, I can say custom vision. Free tier is okay. Prediction pricing tier is also free. Next, okay, all networks. Review and create. So now I'm creating a custom vision service. So using these parameters, I have created the service. Now we need to create a custom vision project. So we can go to customvision.ai. This is the custom vision portal. Sign in. Here we need to create a new project. So here you can see the two types, project types, classification and object detection. So let me provide some names and other values. So name, I can say classify fruit. That is a project name. Then description is image classification for fruit. Then a resource is your custom vision service, which is my custom vision, this one. Then type is classification. Classification types multi-class. Yes. Single tag per image, which means suppose if it is an apple, it's only belongs to the apple category. If it is fruit, it just belongs to the fruit category. And domain is food. So what domain? It's a food. Then create the project. Now we need some sample images to train this model. So for that, I think we can use this zip file. Let's go and download this zip file. Yes. So I have downloaded those images. Now we need to add the images and we have to create a category called Apple. So inside this, we can click on add images, and inside this training images, we have this Apple. I can select all these images. So if we are using this custom vision portal, at least 20 images, 15 to 20 images is required minimum. So you can see 15 images will be added. And these all are apples, different color, different shaped apples. And we label it as apple. So since this is a single class label, I'll give a single label that is apple and then say upload all the 15. Done. Now we'll add the next category. From here, banana, I can select. Banana. You can see these all different types or different pictures of banana. And we can also upload the next category, which is orange. So you can see now there are 45 images totally and 15 apple, 15 banana, and 15 orange I have given. So now you can see there is a training option. We can start training. So after this images are added, now we need to train this model. So we need to click on this train button. So we can do a quick training, that is fine. Otherwise, it will take more time. So better go for quick training. So now this training is going on. It may take some time. Maybe it takes 20 minutes, 15 minutes. It depends on, we cannot predict how much time it takes. But yes, the training is going on. Once the training is done, we can go to this quick test and test the model. So after the training is completed, we can verify this by using this quick test option by uploading a sample picture and see. So it will be, you will be getting something like this. So uh, after the training is completed, you may get a result like this, where you can see the precision, recall, and the AP, right? So here you can go to quick test and then do a testing. So you can see for testing, you can provide the quick test. For a sample image, you can use this one. This is a sample image of Apple. And once you provide this image URL and do testing, you can see the prediction here. Can you see? This is a picture of Apple, 99.9 percentage, it is detecting it is Apple, right? Or you can also try with some banana and the orange pictures. That's it. So this is what the custom vision. So you are able to go and train the model with a category of images. So here in this example, it uses the apple, banana, and orange, but you can create your own category of images. Suppose if you are using it in a pet clinic, different pets breeds photos you can upload and then train this. So more number of images means more accuracy. But the problem is the training time will be more. Suppose when the number of images increases, time required to train will also increase. You can see it is still in training. I don't know how much time it takes. Sometimes it finish fast, sometimes it will be taking more time. As per this, they are saying this will finish a minute or two. But we cannot predict how much time it takes. Okay. So we need to wait until this training completes because if I have to do the testing, we have to finish this training. So that is there in the image classification scenario. So we will wait for this to complete. But before that, what we can do is we will also try a vision enabled generative AI application. So in generative AI also, we can now use the image features, right? Multimodal generative AI. So what is the benefit of using multimodal generative AI service is you can typically in our generative AI models like the GPT models, you will be sending a text-based prompt. But now the some specific models which can accept multiple models along with the text prompt. Means your prompt can contain not only the text but also images or audio and other content. Okay, that's called a multi-model generative AI models. So in multi-model generative AI model, we can provide an image as an input along with the text. Okay, so model is able to go and analyze this image and provide a response. Okay, but I have already said some selected models are only providing the image capability. Means some of the models are only supporting the multi-model capability. So which of the OpenAI models are multi-model capable? OpenAI's GPT-4o, OpenAI GPT-4o Mini, Microsoft 5.4 multimodal instruct. These are some of the examples of multimodal models. We can try out this in the Azure AI Foundry portal itself. So if I go to the Azure AI Foundry portal, okay, this is training is completed. Okay. Now you can try out this by uploading a sample Apple image. So here I'm pasting this URL and clicking on this. You can see this is the sample image. And you can see Apple 98.1 percentage it is predicting. Okay, this is Apple. We can also try with a banana picture, the sample banana picture. This is a banana. 99.9% it is predicting it is a banana type. Similarly, for orange, yes, 99.9%, sorry, 99.8% it is orange. So now, if you have to consume this model inside your applications, so we have just trained the model and tested. So as per the testing, we have identified, okay, all the predictions are correct. Now, if I have to use this model inside our applications, we have to publish this model. Click on this publish. Here we can specify the model name. You can provide any name, and the prediction resource. We have already created a BST custom mission prediction for this one, and you can give a name like to predict some name you can give and publish. Once the publish is completed, so this is the iteration one. Okay, suppose if you want to update a fourth category of fruit, so you can go back to the main page, add a fourth category, retrain the model, and then publish again. So this is the iteration one, contains three categories. So maybe after some time you may upload a fourth category and retrain. So it will come as iteration two. Iteration two means it's a modified version. So like this, you can upgrade the version. So this current version which is published, and this published URL or prediction URL is this one. So if we have to use inside our applications, you can use this URL. This URL with this prediction key. So this is the format they are providing. Okay, you have to set the body to like this, means the URL of the image you have to provide, right? So this is how we create a custom vision. So we have created a new custom vision model for fruit predictions. What we did is we have created three categories of fruits, uploaded 15 images in each category, trained the model, tested the model whether they are predicting correctly or not. After we have published the model, and this is the publish URL. So this you can make a request. So that is a custom vision. And now we were discussing about the generative AI's multi-model capability. So for that, we can try out this in the AI Foundry, ai.azure.com. We can navigate. So inside this playground, we have to verify, sorry, inside this model deployment, first we have to verify whether we have deployed any multi-model type, GPT-4o or GPT-4o mini or Microsoft 5.4 kind of models are deployed or not. So you can see there is no such model. So I'll go and deploy a multi-model type. Whether it is available in this region, I'm not sure. I can search for GPT-4o mini is okay, this is fine. This one or this one is fine. See, by seamlessly combining text, images, and audio, GPT provides a richer, more engaging user experience. So we can use this model. Now try this in the playground. So here we can attach a picture and say create a description for the image. Can you see? It's a description. This image shows four children playing soccer outdoor in a grassy area surrounded by the trees and greenery. Okay, this is a description, right? So now, some so let me take some picture. I don't know whether it is available or not. And let me ask the model to create a story about this. Create a story based on the uploaded image. You can see it's writing the story. Once upon a time, on a bright sunny day, a thirsty crow was searching for water. Flying over the fields and trees, it's finally spotted a glass jar on the ground. So you can see this is the story created based on this image, right? So now multi-modal models benefit is you can use image, audio, and text combination, or image and audio, or image and text to provide the input, and the model is capable to uh, uh, generate the contents based on that given prompt. So there's an example. So first one, I have asked the model to create a description. Now, if you want, I can again upload. Identify the objects in the pixel. You can see it is identifying the objects: a crow, a glass jar, stones and pebbles, tree, grass, and soil. So these are the different objects it found in this image, right? So object detection is now done very simply by using this generative AI model. So it is able to detect, or it is able to identify the objects inside this. So it is also possible to create a vision-based chat application. But whenever you make the request, you need to send a user content, but the user content, you need to send the text content as well as the image URL. Suppose if you are providing the image, you also need to provide the image URL. Okay. So when you provide the text and the image as user content, then it will be able to identify that it's a multi-modal request. Okay. And if you are sending a binary data, then you have to send the text as well as the image URL as a binary data. So that is a base 64 encoded binary data. As you can see, data colon image slash JPG and a base 64 binary image data you can send. So you have to convert your image into a base 64 image data or binary data and pass it here. So either the uploaded image URL you can use, or you can use the uh, binary data. So that's it in this module. So in this module, we saw the vision service capabilities. So in vision, first service we saw is the computer vision, which can be used for image analysis, for generating the captions, generating the tags, uh, creating the cropped images, as well as object detection, etc. And OCR is another feature of computer vision, but it is primarily used to read some simple text or uh, unstructured text. But we also have the other text reading services like document intelligence and the content extraction services. Secondly, we have discussed about the face API, where it is also providing the face detection and also face analysis and the face recognition. But using the face analysis and face recognition, you need additional permissions from Microsoft. So you need to submit a request to use that features. So you need uh, to get the approval from Microsoft to use that features. Then we have discussed about the custom vision, where you can create a classification or object detection models. Classification means it can be a multi-class classification or multi-label classification, where you can create different categories of images and upload multiple, means minimum 15 images in each category, and train the model. And whenever you upload a test image and check, it is able to predict which category it belongs to. Then finally, we have discussed the generative AI, how to use generative AI for the image processing. For that, we used a multi-modal model because every model is not supporting images or audio as input. So you need to deploy some specific models which just supports images. So we can upload the uh, image or audio and along with the text prompt. So it will be able to generate the responses based on the uh, prompt, which contains the image and audio. So these are the points we have discussed. So now if you have any questions, you can post in the chat. We'll now take a small break. So we can take a 10-15 minutes break. After the break, we will continue with one more module and then we will finish. Hello, everyone. All are back. Okay. What about others? If you are back, please update in the chat. Okay. So let's continue. I saw a question, something about the agents. So, see, agentic framework or agents are a big topic and it's not possible to cover in detail. So that's the reason we are not taking it now. But I can just tell you what is agent and how we can simply create an agent using the Azure AI Foundry. So agents are typically used to automate some task. It may be your day-to-day activity, or it can be some content generation or extraction, or some external data access activity, something like that. So some kind of complex workflow we have to perform. For that, we use generative AI as well as some tools. Tools means it can be a function which is written in Python or C# languages, or it can be some cloud-based services like functions or logic apps or some other APIs. Using this functionalities, you will be able to go and complete a particular task. So for that, we don't need to go and uh, ask, or we don't need to go and write explicit commands or anything. Using our natural language prompt, we can instruct the generative AI application to do that particular task. For example, if I have to send a mail to the manager uh, for 2 days leave request. So I just need to tell the model AI application, okay, can you write a leave letter and send it to the manager? So it will automatically execute an appropriate function because inside that application, I have configured a lot of functions. One of the function is capable to do that particular activity. Maybe it requires execution of multiple functions, one after another, to complete that task. So here, I can show you a very, very simple example, like how we can quickly create an agent. Like in AI Foundry, if you have to create the agents, you can go to this agents section. Okay, there is a default agent which I'll delete. So I can go and create a new agent from here, and we can give a name for this agent. Maybe I can say my agent, something like that. I'm just giving a very simple agent name. So you can, according to your task, you can give any name for the agent, and there will be an ID for the agent, and you can select a model which can be used for uh, completing or interpreting your task or prompt. So I'm using GPT 4.1 here, and you can write the instruction for the agent. So what is the agent is doing? So you have to give a clear direction. Like this is like a system message. So uh, you are a helpful agent that can provide answers to the user questions by looking into the custom data source or invoking the appropriate tools. And then you can give an agent description. So what I do is I'll just give this description: an agent that can provide the information about mortgage, travels, services, and the accommodation options provided by them. It can also check the weather informations for cities, contacting the external weather services. So this is the agent description. So what is this agent can do, or what is this agent? Now you can see there is an option to add a custom knowledge base. So custom knowledge base means if you already have a custom data index, vector index is created, you can use that like files or AI search or some other data. So I have this AI search, which is providing the informations about the Margis data, right? So we have already created. So I'm just connecting that same. So here I can connect. I have already connected it as a resource. Otherwise, I can explicitly connect. So this is the Margis service I have already created. The search service I have already created. I can add it as a connection, and it will appear here. Now I can select the search index. This is the index, and a display name for the index. So some Margis data. And search type I'm giving as hybrid plus semantic. So let me give this and connect. So now you can see this uses a RAG approach for getting the custom data. So this is the custom data. Plus, I can also add some actions, or also called tools. Suppose if I have to include some tools like a code interpreter or some APIs, which is defined and published somewhere, you can specify the external APIs or logic apps you can create, okay, automatically for performing certain operations. Or if you are implementing this by code, so I am doing it through the portal, so I cannot use the custom functions. If I'm doing it through the code, then I can write the functions for that. And also I can integrate the Azure functions. But that is typically used when you do this with the help of code. But what I can do currently, I'm going to use a logic app to perform the weather information. So I have already created one workflow. As you can see, this is the get weather workflow. or you can create your own workflow by using this existing features. Can you see here? Call the external HTTP or HTTP endpoints, execute an SQL query on the database, get weather forecast for today via MSN weather. This is what I have already used here. Get rows from SQL database, get rows from Dataverse table, and send email using Outlook. So I have already used this. Okay, so for example, if I have select this, get weather forecast today for via MSN weather, that is the action. So you can give an action name. So I have already created. So if I give the same name, it may give error, get weather. Okay, so you can see this weather already exists. So I'll just show you the steps, how I have created this. Get weather is a name, or maybe get weather 2 I can give. Then I can give a description like connect to MSN weather and fetch the real time weather data for a city. I can create this service inside this resource group. Next, this is I have already authenticated with this service. So otherwise here it will give a button for authentication. So I can authenticate. I have already connection with the MSN weather, so it's appearing automatically. Next, I acknowledge that all these informations are correct. Next, next, and then it will create this. So here you can describe what this tool is doing or how to invoke this tool. So like you can say, okay, this tool is invoked whenever the user asks for a weather. This tool is invoked whenever a customer or user asks for a real-time weather data for a particular city, something like that. So this is the API endpoint or open API schema for this. When I say create, you can see it is going to add a get weather to tool. So this is the second one. So the logic app automatically created. Okay. So other agents means suppose if you have some other agents, you can connect to the other agents also. So after this agent execution, it will hand off to the other agent. So this is the agent which is created. Now I can test this agent. If I try in playground, it goes to the agent's playground. Here my agent is visible and you can request. For example, can you tell me who is the CEO of Margis Travels? So you can see this is the information which is coming from the Margis Travels custom data, which is configured here, right? And you can see this is using Azure AI search for that. Can you see the data is coming from the Azure AI search? But now if I'm asking, can you tell me what is the weather in Mumbai now? When I ask this question, you can see it is telling the current weather and it is used this tool that is open API tool. That is the logic app which is created because this is added as a schema only, right? That is open API. This is the API which is invoking the backend. So based on our prompt, it is invoking the appropriate tool and giving the response based on that, right? So currently I have only added one tool. Like this, you can add many tools. Like suppose if you have to send the mail to some account, you can do that, send email using Outlook. So for that, you have to configure the tool accordingly. So like this, multiple tools you can configure here. And whenever you write a prompt or whenever you give a prompt, this agent will automatically invoke the appropriate tool to complete that action. So see, for the first query, it used this Azure AI search to complete that action. Thus, for the second query, it is using the Logic app tool which I have created, and it is connecting to the MSN weather and get the real-time weather data. Or I can ask some. So you can see this is the weather in Paris. Okay, so this is how it is invoking. But yes, if there is no tool invocation required, it does not invoke any tools. Okay, so it uses the generative AI model plus custom data source plus the set of tools to work. Means based on our prompt, it will invoke the tools appropriately and generate the response. It's a very, very simple example. So this is how the agents are created, but we can create these agents by code also. But suppose if you are creating, there is a documentation sample available, like using Python if you are doing. So this is a tool for fetching the weather. Similarly, you can also create a project. That is the inside the AI project, you are able to go and create the agent. So inside the agent, you can configure the tools. So by code also you are able to implement this, but I have created this using the uh, portal. So when you want to learn more about the agents using different framework like AutoGen, Semantic Kernel, or LangChain, or the Azure AI Foundry, you can join the AI-102 course to know more about this agents, how this agents works, and what are the other features and functionalities what we can integrate to this. Okay, so I hope that helps to understand what is agent. So I'll take a small module also because we have not enough time to cover all. So I'll be taking a small module also. Just give me a minute. Okay, so in this is a very lengthy module, but we'll see a couple of topics. So we have discussed about various AI services in the beginning. So one of the AI service category is the natural language or natural language processing. So in this service category, we will be analyzing various natural language text or audio or other kind of information. So primarily in natural language, we will be analyzing the text. So text analysis service provides the language detection, key phrase extraction, sentiment analysis, named entity recognition, entity linking, summarization, and PII detection, that is personally identifiable information detection. So text analytics service is also a pre-trained model available in Azure AI services. You can create it as a standalone service or as a multi-service account. The text analytics service offers multiple APIs. One API is used for detecting the language. Another API is used for extracting the key phrases. Another API is used for sentiment analysis. Another API is used for named entity recognition. Like that, a single service can provide a multiple APIs for different operations. Suppose if I have a input text and I want to know which language is used in that text, then I can use language detection feature of the text analytics because we are analyzing the given text. So by analyzing, I want to know which language is used. Key phrase extraction means what are the main talking points of that text if I have to extract from a paragraph or a sentence, then we use the key phrase extraction feature. It may be about an incident, it may be about a person, it may be an object, or it may be a location or something like that. So some kind of talking points, or it may be some highlighting features, something like that. Sentiment analysis helps you to analyze whether it is a positive or negative or neutral text. For example, if I'm building an application that is uh, using a user feedback analysis, for example, like a Flipkart, you can understand there is a user comments or user feedback is there. Based on the user feedback, we have to rate the product, whether the product is good or bad. So for that, we can analyze the sentiment of the given text and rate the product, right? Or when you watch the movie and you can give a rating in Book My Show or IMDb kind of sites. So based on that rating or based on that feedback, we have to analyze the sentiment and give the rating. So such cases, we can use the sentiment analysis. Named entity recognition is typically used to identify or extract the entities from that given text. An entity means it can be a type, like a location type, data type, or a person name type, or it may be some other object. Okay. So if I have to extract the entities from the given text, you can use the text analytics service. Entity linking also similar to the entity extraction only, but in entity linking, it also returns the wiki link for the given uh, entity because in some cases the entity will be a confusing one. For example, I saw a Venus in the sky. So what is that Venus in the sentence? I saw the Venus in the sky means, are you talking about the planet Venus or are you talking about a Greek goddess Venus? Because both are Venus only, right? So to give a more clarity, which Venus is referred, it can give a Wikipedia link of that particular Venus text. Okay. So whenever it returns the entity, it also returns the Wikipedia link to give more clarity about that. That is entity linking. Summarization means if you have a very lengthy text and I want to summarize the text in just a few sentences, we can use a summarization feature of that. Summarization is again available as extractive summary and abstractive summary. So two type of summarization is possible, and PII detection is used to extract the personally identifiable informations like credit card numbers, password, email, phone number, name. Okay, that kind of personally identifiable informations, if I have to extract, then you can use the PII detection feature of the analytics service. So you can create a text analytics service inside the Azure AI Foundry by using the multi-service account or using a language service. So go to the Azure portal and create a language service, or you can use a Azure AI service, which is providing you a multi-service account. Like the vision service, it also provides a key and endpoint to connect and consume the service. To use the language detection feature, you can make a request to the corresponding API endpoint, or you can use the SDK and make a function call by passing the text. So the text means it can be a single text or a collection of text. Okay, so you can pass only one single text document or multiple text documents. Okay, and it will return the detected language and the language code as well as a confidence score. So confidence score is always used to determine how confident it is about the answer, right? So whenever you use the language detection feature, you can pass single or multiple text and it returns the detected language code and the confidence score of each and every document that you have passed. A document means it's not a text document, I'm saying, or it's not a file document, I'm saying. I'm saying it is a paragraph. Suppose one paragraph you can consider as one document. Second paragraph you can consider as a second document. It's up to you how you pass it. To try out these features, you can use the language studio just like how we have used the vision studio. We have also language studio. This is the language studio in Azure. Okay, we have to select a language service. I'm not sure there is no language service. So cognitive service is available. Yeah, there is a multi-service account. You can see some of the features are available here. And there's no language detection. Okay, detect language. So here, detect language option is here. We can try out. So you can put your text here. So let me select a language services from the Type of API is not supported. Okay, let me create a language service. I'm just creating a language service. I save here. Okay, this is fine. So it's taking some time to create. Okay, it's now created. We'll go back and refresh. Now select. Oh, that service is not still not appearing. Okay, so here the language service. So here we can put our own text. Some sample text is provided here. Like this is English. So this is the English, and you will see the results below. So here it is detected as English. Suppose if you need the JSON response, this is how it comes. Detected language, name, then the ISO name, and the confidence code. But if I try this French, is the French. Now run this, you will see it is detected as French, and FR is a short form, and this is the language code, and this is the confidence score 1. Chinese, it is Chinese simplified is a language. This is the language code, and this is the confidence code. And this is a mixed language content. This mixed language content, it is detected as Spanish, and 0.97 is the uh, confidence score. So this is the language detection feature, but you can also see some other features like extracting the key phrases, linked entities, and so on. So key phrase extraction is to identify the main talking points of the text. Okay, so when you provide the larger text contents like paragraphs, uh, from the paragraphs, we want to identify the key phrases in that particular paragraph. So then we can use the key phrase extraction API, where we can also provide a one document or multiple documents as input. Okay, and it is going to return the key phrases. So every document should have the text content, ID, and a language. So by default, the language is detected as English. But if you are sending a different language, then you have to explicitly specify the language parameter. Okay. Otherwise, it will consider it as the English. Okay. So now if I go back and try out this key phrase extraction, so we can see the default language is English, and we can see this is an illegal NDA. So from here, from this document, we have to extract the key phrases. You can see it's showing here date, August, employee, Contoso restaurant. So these are the key phrases extracted. Okay. And if you look into the JSON format, it is returning. Can you see this? It returns an array of key phrases. Right? So now if I try a different one, this is an email. So this is the email. So these are the key phrases detected from this document. So that is a key phrase extraction. It's a very simple text utility that helps you to extract the key phrases from the given text. So how we can implement this inside our application? Oh, sorry, it's I think it's closed. Suppose if we have to use this inside our applications, then you can get the sample code also. So here is SDK for that, or sample code is available in GitHub. Here, this is the Python SDK for that. Documentation is also available. Means you, when you click on this, it will directly to the take you to the documentation. And also you can see the sample code here. This is the curl command, then samples on GitHub. So here you will see the different examples. Sentiment analysis is also a feature of text analysis service where we can provide multiple sentences or a single sentence as argument, and it returns what is the sentiment. Suppose if there are multiple sentences, it identify the sentiment of each and every sentence, and then provide a common sentiment also. So sentence sentiment is based on the confidence score for positive, negative, and neutral. Suppose if in a document means multiple sentences are there. If all the sentences are neutral type, then it returns the overall sentiment is neutral. Sentences including positive and neutral, then it comes as positive. Sentences include negative and the neutral, then it returns overall result as negative. Sentences include positive and negative, it's a mix, then it returns mixed as the response. So it is identifying the sentiments of each and every sentence and then also returns a sentiment of the total text. Okay. So you can make request to the API using SDK or REST API and pass the documents. Pass the documents. Documents means one or more sentences you can pass. Is there any example for that? Sentiment analysis. No, sentiment analysis, no examples. No, there is no example in the portal. Named entity recognition, where you can see there are some built-in entities like a person, location, date and time, address, email, etc. So when we provide a text as an input, inside this text, if there is a person name or location, date and time or address or email values identified, it will extract those information and map to the corresponding entity type. So it returns the entity type and it's a value. And if there is a subcategory is available, then it returns a subcategory also. Okay. So when we provide the text, we will be providing the documents and also some additional parameters like we will provide the text ID and the language used in that text. And it returns the ID, confidence score, entity category, entity subcategory, optional, and a location. Let's try out this here. I think it's there. Yeah, extract named entities. So we can try out this, for example, inside this is the text. From here, we want to extract the entities. You can see there is a person type called the wife. So wife is a person type, 98% confident. There is Los Angeles, which is city location, but it is a city category. Okay. Then first, first is actually a quantity type, which is ordinal subcategory. And this is date and time. Okay, date and time category, and there is a date. This Contessa Hotel is actually a location. It's not a city, so its subcategory is not given. Similarly, Hollywood. Okay, this is also location. Then two. Two is a quantity and it's a number. So first means it is an ordinal, but two is a number, which is a subcategory. Both are representing quantity only, but it's a subcategory number. So if you look into the JSON output, it comes like this. As you can see, this category is person type and text is wife. Okay. And here text is Los Angeles, category is location, and subcategory is city. Similarly, the text is first, category is quantity, subcategory is ordinal. This is how the result is returned. So it is extracting the different entities from the given text. So you can try with any text, some sample text which is provided. So here there's a text. So this is a person name. This is age. This is event, car accident. It represents an event. Home is the location. This is Hollywood address. This is date and time. This is location. Right? So that is the named entity recognition. When it comes to entity linking, it is used to disambiguate entities of the same name. As I mentioned, I saw Venus in the sky. So Venus is a confusing word there because the Venus may represent a planet or it may represent a goddess. So if depending on the context of that sentence, it will return the wiki link also to give more clarity. So that is the benefit of entity linking. Wikipedia provides a knowledge base and specific article links are determined based on the entity's context. So if we are talking about the planets, then that Venus word means it's a planet. But if you are talking about the myth and mythology, then that Venus word is representing the goddess. So depends on that, it returns the corresponding wiki link also. Here is an example, the bark. Bark is a uh, bark as in dog or a tree. I heard a bark on my walk, or the bark on that bird's tree is pretty. So there is a bark word which is confusing. So that can be a sound or it can be a botany term, right? So it is going to return the wiki link also. Now let's go to that. In Language Studio, you can also see the find linked entities. So here, this is linked entity. As you can see, the Los Angeles is returned as what? Returned with a wiki link, right? Similarly, hotel. So it is returning the corresponding wiki link for the given entity also. Summarization means if you have a very lengthy text and I want to summarize this in few sentences, we can use the summarization feature. Okay, that is available in two forms, extractive and abstractive. Extractive means from the given sentences, it will pick up the important sentences. What are the important sentences? It takes and create a summary. But in abstractive summary, it is creating the summary by summarizing the overall meaning of that paragraph. So instead of taking the important sentences, it will summarize the paragraph by using the meaning of the words. Okay, but it may not use the same words or sentences, but it is going to summarize with the actual content. So you need to provide the summarization type while making the request, whether you need extractive summary or abstractive summary. And also the other parameters. So what is the activity that you are performing? Suppose in this, I think there is an example for summarization. Yeah, here. So summarize information. While summarizing, you have to specify the documents here. So how many sentences you want? Number of sentences, like five. So this is okay. So here you can see the summary type. Suppose if I need extractive summary, you can select that and I can provide some sample text. So this is a very lengthy text and I want that complete responses to come in just a five sentences. So I can run this. So it's going to generate an extractive summary. You can see this is a extractive summary of that particular text. This is the original text, but it is taking the uh, key points from here and takes the generate the summary. But if I use abstractive summary and run this, this is the summary which is generated. And by looking into this text, it takes the meaning of this text and created that summary. But in the extractive summary, you saw that some important sentences only it has taken, right? So that's a difference. So summarization capability allow you to shorten the lengthier text either by extracting the key sentences. We can see this is one important sentence and this is the next important sentence. Then next important sentence is this. So it is identifying the important sentences and create a summary there. But in abstractive summary, so by understanding the text content and then creating its own sentences out of that. PII informations. Suppose if there is some PII data like a person name, phone number, email, address, credit card information, account information, something is found in the document. I want to extract those informations. Okay. Suppose if there are some sensitive data like a name, phone number, email, something is found, we want that information to be extracted. And it is going to return a redacted text and the entities array. So what are the different PII data is found? It returns the collection of that PII data also. Okay. So if you go to the language studio, you can go back here, extract the PII, and you can provide some informations like this, and you can see it is returned. So there's a person type, person type, person, data type, address, date and time, etc. Now in this, there is organization name, email, then the social security number is there. So when the original text, this is the original text which is there, and it is identifying the PII data from that. And you can see the redacted text here. So one of the, and here is some sensitive data, and here is some other sensitive data. So you can see this information. Suppose if I have to display this text in a page, so instead of displaying the original text, you can show the redacted text. So where all the sensitive data or all the PII data is now replaced with the star, right? So that is the benefit of using the PII extraction. So it not only returns the list of PII data, it also returns the redacted text. So that is the first module of this uh, natural language service. There is a lab available analyzing this text. But yes, there are other modules also, since because of the time constraint, I'm not covering all these because it's not possible to cover in just one day. As you uh, can understand, the natural language services is available for audio also, like audio services like speech to text, text to speech, speaker recognitions, speech translation. All these are also the services offered by Azure AI services. Um, then text translator is another service. So all this comes under the natural language service. Also, there is a language understanding service, a natural language understanding service, and also the Q&A maker service. All these services comes under the natural language service category. Because of the time constraint, I'm not going ahead. So I'm stopping it here. So if you are interested, you can always join the AI-102 certification course. You are not only achieving the certification, but also you will understand in detail, because in the session, in the certification sessions, you will be implementing the labs, integrating them in the applications. So you will get a good hands-on experience also. So anyone interested in the certifications, please contact our uh, team. So I'm just finishing the session here. So if you have some questions, you can post your questions in the chat. I'll be answering that.
Everyone, please do fill the feedback form and please do redeem your badges as the link is given in the chat box. Please make sure you fill the feedback form before ending the session and redeem your learning achievement badges. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. Make sure you redeem your badges. The link is given in the chat box, and please do give your feedback. It would appre- appreciate it.